I'm Lamorne Morris. This is my story from my mouth. If I could go back and do it all over again, the thing that I would change, that I would change the way I structured my life in New York. When I came out to New York, I was like, okay, I got the job on TV already. This is it. That's all I need to focus on. But there are other aspects of the business that I should have been learning. I should have been learning more about what you do. I should have been learning more about behind the camera. I should have been, I should have had a stronger management situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my boy Ramses. We were both figuring it out. And my boy Ramses was like, I'm a manager. I was like, cool. And it was just him and I trying to figure stuff out. I'm over here looking at other cats. They got these powerhouse managers. They were making money over here. They're learning about that side of the business. And me and Ramses, we both actors. We both actors trying to figure it out. We still talk about it, how we should have attached somebody else to our squad who knew the ins and outs of New York and how to navigate, because there was so much time wasted. It's like New York could be a gold mine if you know how to pull from it, but we didn't know how to pull from it. So we was just, however many days we were filming, that's the only time I was working. Most of the time I was just hollering at chicks. Like, that was it. That's it.
There's someone somewhere inspired to do what you did, and they just beginning. So they just getting on the highway to get to the journey that you thousands of miles away. What potholes can you tell them to look out for?
If somebody's trying to do what I do and get on this same career path and the journey that I'm on, I would tell them to avoid laziness. Because when you're not lazy, you're gonna always figure something out. You're gonna learn how to write. You're gonna learn how to you're gonna jump on stage when you got the energy to do it. And all that stuff builds up a book of work. It builds up a body of work. It builds up character. I got real lazy at one point, and I know it. I still battle with that sometimes. I still battle with the being comfortable and going, and then you see everybody else moving and shaking, and you watching TV, you like, man, that's a dope role. How did he get that? It's like, oh, nigga ain't lazy, that's why. And so I would tell people to definitely avoid being lazy, avoid negative people around you. You gotta have people that's constantly encouraging you and is constantly better than you. If you're in a circle of people, don't be the smartest. You gotta have people that you can pull from constantly, that's constantly teaching you stuff. I mean, eventually you're gonna be the smartest person in the room, possibly, depending on your level of intelligence, I don't know, but you always wanna be learning from somebody. So I would avoid the people who aren't. And another pothole I would say is avoid, it's kind of the same as avoiding laziness, but it's if you do see some success, avoid being comfortable. You tend to work harder when you sleep on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a comfortable life, that's fine, but you still gotta find that edge that you need to. It's like when you hear about basketball players, you watch the Last Dance documentary, Michael Jordan over here talking about, he making up stories that people talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So he could have that fuel to try to compete, because Michael Jordan, he's the greatest at that. He playing basketball, he's the greatest right now. Back then, I think LeBron's the greatest right now. But I'm saying, back when Michael Jordan was playing, he's the greatest. And so, ain't nobody to compete with. So he making shit up, talking about this dude talk shit to me, and this dude talk shit to me, and this dude he got beef with me. And they're like, we don't got no beef with you. It's like, yes, you do. And so, when you're an actor, you got to sometimes find that edge, and I would say being comfortable, you won't have it. So you got to find that. Yeah. My focus today on life and in business. On life, it's honestly, with everything that's been going on in this world, man, I can't help but feel like this it's starting to get a little tricky and scary a little bit. When you notice it, you always notice the racism around you, but when it hits a point the way it's been hitting lately, you're like, man, we back in the 60s or we in the 40s, like it's starting to get that aggressive and it's starting to get that blatant.
Yeah.
So my focus in life these days is trying to create some sort of change from the inside of our film business. The way they depict black people, minorities in general, in what we do can affect the way kids look at us, can affect the way, then it just affects these stereotypes that people put on us. You know, everybody's like, the black people are like this or they like that, and they exclude all the systemic racism. You know, they exclude all the systemic racism. You know, people don't want to admit that. People don't want to face their shame. You know what I'm saying? So how I want to do it in the best way I know how is the way I choose my roles, the sets that I work on. I'm trying to build an initiative right now where networks can, for lack of a better word, better police themselves. You know what I'm saying? Where you got more people, black people of color behind the camera, more barbers, hairstylists in the union, technicians. We need more people. You need more technicians running the algorithm for Netflix and all these networks that when they show the banners for the movies and stuff like that. You know, it's so funny. You can tell a person's ethnicity by looking at the suggested things on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be promoting these things already on a regular basis to everybody. You know, and I think it's almost like segregating the material on Netflix. You know, a lot of cats don't know about some of the programming that we have, but they won't know because it's not being pushed by the networks. You don't have a lot of black executives. So even all the way down to the script. When you get a script, there's a lot of stereotypical bullshit in these scripts that you gotta, when you get it, you read it, you roll your eyes and go, okay, now I gotta change this, I gotta change that. I shouldn't have to do that. I'm an actor. I should just get there, the material is good, and we work. But instead, you gotta sit back, you gotta edit, figure out how not to sound too coonish and too this, the way the script's making you sound, and figure all that stuff out. There needs to be some sort of regulator of this. Somebody that when the studio is greenlighting the movie, they come in, they read it, making sure you ain't blowing up too many brown people in a movie. In every war movie, everybody's brow getting blown up. You got one white dude just killing everybody, and everybody's like, yeah, like that type of stuff is terrible. You know, and we like these movies, we watch them, but we don't realize what it's doing to us, you know. So that's something I want to focus a lot of my attention on. And what was the second part of that question?
Life in the business.
So that's where I am in life and a little bit in business, but more so on the business side. I'm just becoming more financially literate. I'm taking more control of and a lot of it has to do with the pandemic, to be fair, because I'm at home a lot. So I'm at home a lot. I'm like, I can manage my own money. I can handle it myself. You know, I don't need anybody to do it for me. So been spending a lot of time focusing on that and, you know, just planning for the future. I'm Lamorne Morris. We all have a story to tell and a lesson to learn. This is my story.